So yeah, so now we're going to be looking at XRP's price action. But before we do so, please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure to hit that subscribe button there, since we're bringing you TA every single Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays, updating you about what's going on in the market and presenting you with some of the buying or selling opportunities that we get to see. Also, make sure to follow us on Twitter. Today, basically, I am with you, Ali Martinez. You can follow me at Ali_charts. Cash is also in the mix with, you can follow him at Mac & Co with a zero at the end. And you can also follow Jonathan. His Twitter handle is basically just analysis1. So now, when we're looking at XRP from a on-chain perspective, there aren't that many things that I can tell you. I mean, one of the few things that I can say is that the NVRV 30D ratio suggests that right now could be a good time to start accumulating XRP, as those addresses that basically acquired XRP in the last 30 days are currently sitting at a 16% loss in average, right? So what that tells you is that these traders or addresses are right now not inclined to sell, because if they were to do so, they will kind of like incur a loss on XRP. So yeah, I mean the right now the NVRB 30D sits in the opportunity zone, but there is still potential for it to drop a little bit lower, maybe another 15% points, right? So the 365 the NVRB ratio is still sits in in a good posture. So what we want to see is this ratio actually go below 0% to actually present a buying opportunity that can last for a really good upswing, as it did back in December 2020, and as it did also back in June 21st of this year. Now, some of the things that all the things that I'm looking at is that basically those addresses with 10 million XRP to Infinity coins have been selling over the past few days. Basically, what I can see here is that around like four big whales have left the network over the past few days, right? Which this selling pressure could eventually catch up with prices. I mean, the network growth, it continues to go down, continues to make a series of lower lows. Even though it made a higher high, what proceeded was basically a lower low, and this is a lower high as well. So as the network growth goes down, the probabilities for prices to continue rising actually decreases, right? Because you want to see network growth actually increasing, so that prices can basically follow through, right? But it does seem that XRP is actually looking for more downside potential than upside potential. I mean, the potential targets that I could have in mind first is 65 cents, because of how much that support level was able to hold throughout the past year. So a potential downswing below the recent low of 87 cents could see Ethereum, I mean XRP, drop towards 65 cents, based on what I can remember as a significant support level for XRP. But yeah, that's basically my take on XRP. I don't know if you, Jonathan, are looking at something different from a technical perspective that you can share with our audience.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I've got a little more, I guess, of a bearish bias. Let me get my screen pulled up here. So it's currently below its last support level, something that if you watched our Bitcoin and Ethereum recordings already, Ethereum's dropped below that final support zone at Senko Span B, so it's sitting. Ripple is. Did I say Ripple or Ethereum? I meant Ripple. But dipping down below here, this is kind of the make or break level, because I don't think it's going to find a lot of support at 84 cents. I have a red arrow pointing down all the way down towards really the 70-cent region. When you look at the volume profile, it's extremely thin in between 83 and 65. But the the 1618 expansion is at 68 cents. So 70 cents seems like the likely area. I've shifted Ripple into bear market conditions in the RSI, so it's currently sitting neutral in this downtrend. So it has a pretty good amount of room to move even lower. Yeah, there's just not a ton of things I see as supportive. And I mean, fundamentally, I'm not a huge fundamentals guy. You rarely hear me talk about fundamentals ever. But I will say that I am really a bear against XRP for a lot of reasons why the SEC is going after their officers. I mean, if this was a security and Ripple's officers did what they did, they would be in jail or paying a fine because, like in 2017, they were on social media encouraging everybody, saying very, very, very long. We're on the hodl side of things. But during that whole time, they were selling up to 67 million XRP on the market. And they were also selling it at a discount to in block trades to some large institutional owners who are essentially selling it again on the open market because they had a guaranteed profit. I mean, they were buying it at a cheaper price than you or I could get. And then they were just dumping it, just continually dumping Ripple on the market. And the centralized nature of it, it's just, there's a lot of things fundamentally I don't like about it. Technically, it looks very bearish here. I would like to go long on it from a trading perspective if it comes back down to 45 to 50 cents where the 2021 point of control is at. But otherwise, yeah, I think it still has room to move a little lower.
Yeah, indeed. I also believe that there's potential for further downside. I mean, the whole thing with the SEC is a little bit complicated because, as we saw with EOS, I mean, they were able to. I mean, they sold securities and they pocketed $4 billion, and the net worth today is nothing compared to what all of the things that they were advertising back in the day that they were supposed to do or they were planning to do, right? So
Yeah,
at the
that's
end,
true.
after that lawsuit, basically they only walked out with like a slap in the hands. I believe it was like something like a $20 million fine after collecting
Yeah.
$4 billion from the sale of that security. So I believe that something similar could come with Ripple and with XRP. Of course, right? If they actually get to prosecute all of the people behind Ripple and actually deem this cryptocurrency as security, it will actually send a message across the entire space for all of these new, so-called entrepreneurs that are just basically, printing new tokens out of thin air. So yeah, I mean, it's a complicated case. Would I believe that they will actually be indicted? Based on what I have seen with EOS, I don't necessarily think so. And also the support and the regulatory support that Ripple has had in the Asian nations, also tells you a little bit of where this lawsuit is going. But as of right now, it's
Yeah,
just a matter of
nothing's
waiting and
going to
seeing.
happen to them. Nothing's going to happen to them.
Exactly. And once that decision comes through, I believe that there could be a potential for Ripple basically to shake the FUD and now rise towards new all-time highs. But before that happens, and as of right now in the near time future, I do believe that Ripple has more downside potential as well.
Agreed.
What about you, Akash? Are you looking at something different from a shorter term perspective?
Not really. Like XRP is kind of mirroring what Bitcoin is doing right now. And to add more on what you guys were just discussing, right, about what's happening with the Ripple and SEC, right? So I think Brad Garlinghouse is kind of signaling that he's open for settlement, provided SEC define what XRP is. And I think that is kind of like a shift in the way Ripple were dealing with SEC. And yeah, I think they're eventually going to come to an agreement, probably pay some fines like you just mentioned. And they're probably going to classify XRP as not a security. But yeah, it'll be a good thing to see it develop. Yeah, right. Apart from that, coming back to the technical perspective, right? I'm seeing a bearish pennant here on XRP from on a 4 time frame perspective, and I do want to say that it's going to head to the 77 cent area over here, but I still feel like there's a possibility where the market makers could push XRP up here, collect liquidity, and probably even retest this if like in a very unlikely scenario, and turn this into a busted pattern and then probably head lower to the 0.77 area, right? And that'll only happen if XRP kind of manages to close above this 0.95 resistance level here, right? It's really plain and simple, nothing complicated as of now. So a bearish pennant, expecting roughly an 18% downswing on XRP.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, it does seem like all of us are leading towards the same type of outlook and target. I mean, you're seeing something between 77 and 70.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking at something between 65 and 68, and I believe that's also the ultimate target for Jonathan. So yeah, I mean, for viewers just and the XRP army, sorry for us what you would call FUD, but it does seem that XRP is looking a little bit better. So just be aware of that. That if you could sell your holdings at a little bit of a higher price, then you could potentially get more tokens lower, and the whole market is just looking bearish at the moment. So yeah, just and before we finish here, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow all of us on Twitter so that we can provide you with way more TA in the future.